3 years have passed since the day Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. How has Ukraine managed to hold on during these 3 years? Is it all thanks to the support of its partners, or were there other decisive factors? First, let's analyze the state of the Russian and Ukrainian armies before the war began. As we can see, Russia had an advantage in personnel, tanks, artillery, aviation, and other military assets by 3, 5, or even 10 times. We are not even considering the quality of equipment, the level of personnel training, or the availability of intelligence data, because simply due to Russia having more financial resources, all these aspects were also at a significantly higher level. These are approximate figures from publicly available sources, and if we look only at them, it really does seem like Ukraine would hold out for just 3 days. These 3 days were exactly what various countries, experts, and the media were talking about in the first hours of the war.
The United States, the White House has been warned that the capital could fall very quickly.
Has not stopped Russia's invasion, which now threatens the country's capital. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Mike Milley, who said that Kyiv could fall within 72 hours.
So how did Ukraine manage to withstand the first weeks of the attack? Let's recall the military aid. Back in 2018, Trump provided Ukraine with its first military aid package, which was delivered in several stages. March 2018, Ukraine purchased 210 Javelin missiles and 37 launchers. 2020, Ukraine received 10 Javelin launchers and 150 missiles for free. October 2021, Ukraine received 30 Javelin launchers and 180 missiles for free. In total, from 2018 to 2021, Ukraine received 77 Javelin launchers and 540 missiles from the US. In January 2022, a $200 million military aid package was provided, which included small arms, ammunition, and other military equipment. After the full-scale war began, there were no such detailed figures, but here is what the US government published. February 2022, anti-tank and anti-aircraft systems, small arms, various caliber ammunition, body armor, and related equipment. March 2022, anti-aircraft systems, anti-tank systems, small arms and ammunition and armored vehicles. April 2022, howitzers, artillery shells, Mi-17 helicopters, armored personnel carriers and counter-battery radars. There was also aid from other countries. Germany, 5,000 helmets. Poland, a significant amount of ammunition and other military equipment. Czech Republic, firearms, ammunition, and other military gear. Other partner countries also provided assistance. I based the timeline on the date the aid was announced, since the exact delivery dates to Ukraine are unknown. Therefore, we count from the day it was officially declared. All this aid was provided by mid-April 2022. At the beginning of the war, Ukraine did not receive tanks, aircraft, or hundreds of artillery systems. However, the aid provided by partners played a crucial role in repelling the initial attack. Ukrainians could not fight on equal terms in terms of personnel, equipment, or the quantity of weaponry. Therefore, they had to develop an effective tactical approach. The Russians advanced into Ukraine in large columns, stretching for tens of kilometers, and the primary objective was to stop these convoys. The strategy was to allow them to penetrate deep into Ukrainian territory, stretching their logistics, and then ambush them, blow up bridges, and trap them. Once a column was halted, it was destroyed using everything available: artillery, drones, portable anti-tank systems, and tanks. Another factor that worked in Ukraine's favor was that the Russians were poorly oriented in the terrain and could get lost. Civilian involvement was also crucial, as people monitored and reported all enemy movements to Ukrainian forces. If we analyze Russia's tactics in the first hours of the invasion, it becomes clear that they had false intelligence about the sentiment of Ukrainians. They seemed to believe there would be no significant resistance and that they would be welcomed with flowers. Let me remind you that by April 2022, Russian troops had almost completely retreated from Kyiv Oblast and, in general, from the northern part of Ukraine. Thus, Russia's entire military operation to capture Ukraine's capital lasted 37 days and ended in defeat. It can be concluded that Ukraine received assistance from its partners both before and after the invasion began. This is likely not the full extent of the aid provided, as I relied only on data from open official sources. This was just a small part of the information about how Ukraine faced the war. After April 2022, many more military aid packages were delivered, but we will not discuss them now. I want to highlight an important period when the US House of Representatives blocked a new aid package intended for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. This near-total halt in supplies lasted from October 2023 to mid-April 2024. Ukrainians had to find new solutions to replace artillery, and the best alternative became FPV drones. These drones had been used before, built by various individuals and companies in small-scale workshops, garages, and private homes. Components were purchased from China or 3D printed. Soldiers, volunteers, and ordinary civilians were involved in this process. However, when military aid was put on hold, the Ukrainian government actively stepped in to develop drone production, and this sector began to grow rapidly. On the internet, you can find hundreds of videos documenting the daily destruction of enemy personnel and equipment using FPV drones. This field became so widespread that in 2024, Ukraine established a separate branch of the military, the Unmanned Systems Forces, and launched an active recruitment campaign. The training of drone operators is highly rigorous. Candidates undergo interviews, skill assessments, and experience evaluations, followed by a 21-day basic theoretical and practical training program. These positions are filled by young, tech-savvy individuals who operate drones from a safe distance. As a result, personnel losses are minimized wherever possible. As practice shows, this approach has proven highly effective, and the military has been able to implement it directly in wartime conditions. Any vehicle approaching the front line is immediately attacked by 2 to 5 drones. In 2024, Ukraine purchased 1.5 million FPV drones, 96% of which were produced by Ukrainian manufacturers. This amounts to approximately 4,000 drones per day. In 2025, the plan is to acquire 4.5 million drones. I believe that since these figures were publicly announced, they are likely understated, as no one would disclose the real numbers for security reasons. Due to the severe shortage of artillery shells, drones have become a cheap and effective alternative. Ukraine understood that it could not win by sheer numbers of personnel, so it focused on drones, and this strategy has proven successful. For comparison, the cost of one 155mm artillery shell around $3,300, the cost of one drone from $300 to $800. According to Colonel Vadim Sukarevsky, head of Ukraine's Unmanned Systems Forces, over 60% of targets are now destroyed using drones. Today, this field has developed at an extremely rapid pace. There are FPV drones with various capabilities. Short-range drones can fly 1 to 2 kilometers. Long-range can reach 15 to 20 kilometers. Drones designed to shoot down enemy reconnaissance UAVs. Drones for eliminating enemy personnel, for destroying armored vehicles. Drones that burn enemy positions with napalm. Fiber optic drones. These unroll a cable during flight, allowing them to bypass enemy electronic warfare EW systems. Drones are not only effective against armored vehicles and personnel. Confirmed targets include air defense systems and even helicopters. The main advantages of drones: low cost compared to traditional weaponry and high speed of production and deployment. Additionally, long-range UAVs have advanced rapidly. These drones can now fly 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers. During the war, Ukraine has attacked 30 regions of Russia with long-range drones. At the start of the war, no one could have imagined this would become possible. Now, there are many types of such UAVs, each designed for different tasks. Thus, it is clear that drones play a key role in modern warfare. Russia's tactics have remained largely unchanged for many years, and they still use them today. First an artillery barrage, followed by an infantry and armored assault. Against infantry and armored vehicles, drones have proven to be an effective solution. There is a lot of information indicating that various countries around the world are now interested in this technology and have started integrating it into their armies. In my opinion, the potential for drone usage in the future is enormous. Perhaps Ukraine can leverage its experience to share valuable insights with its partners. This could help them better understand how to defend against potential threats in modern warfare. At the same time, drones alone will not win the war. Until a soldier's foot is on the ground, a territory cannot be considered liberated. Drones have not become a weapon that has completely changed the course of the war, but they have become a necessary solution that has helped partially compensate for the shortage of artillery shells, reduce personnel losses, and stabilize the front line. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and bring you more content like this. Also, let me know in the comments. What do you think was the most unexpected factor in Ukraine's resilience?